Now, I love 3D printing, and what's amazing is how I've turned my passion for 3D printing into a way to make extra money by selling 3D prints online. In today's video, I'm gonna give you my top 5 tips on selling 3D prints in 2024. Now, to give you a bit of background, I've been selling 3D prints and accessories online for the better part of 3 to 4 years now, primarily over on Etsy, which I think is probably the main platform that most people use when it comes to selling 3D prints online. And specifically on Etsy, I've brought in almost $90,000 in sales from selling 3D prints online. Specifically, I have one listing that's brought in over $30,000 and another that's made almost $20,000 just from selling those basic 3D prints. Now, Andrew Sink and I also created a cable for your resin 3D printers that allows you to create time lapses called Resin Lapse, and we sell those over on Etsy as well as our own website, and we've made over $35,000 by selling those online. And what's crazy is this is just scratching the surface. Like, I'm not putting a lot of effort into it. It's just something that I do passively on the side by putting up listings and fulfilling orders here and there. There are other people that put a lot more effort into this and are making an absolute killing month over month with their sales. So I'm hoping some of this will help guide you into selling your own 3D prints. And specifically, I want to talk with you about the platforms that you might be listing your products on, because there's more than just Etsy out there. Now, one of the other big ones that's been around for ages is eBay. I personally am not a huge fan of listing my products over on eBay just because of issues that I've had in the past with orders and buyers and sellers. It's just been a kind of a mess, but I know lots of people have had success. So it's definitely worth you trying out for yourself and seeing if it works for you. The beauty is of all of this is as soon as you start making your listing information on Etsy, you've got your detailed descriptions, you've got your photos, maybe your videos, you can start reusing those on the other platforms. Now, the other big one that has just absolutely blown up in the last, I would say 6 months or so, has been TikTok. Now, people selling 3D prints directly on TikTok is insane. I've been using it to just drive people to my Etsy shop to purchase prints from me, but other people are using it to their advantage by listing directly on TikTok the products, and someone can watch a video, then directly buy it. And what's crazy is on that platform, you don't need a lot of subscribers. Subscribers don't mean anything. The video content is all that matters. If you have a video that does really well, it's going to get in front of more eyeballs and potentially make even more sales for you. And that ease of transaction of having it listed directly there within TikTok is such an easy transaction for a lot of people, especially around the holidays. It's something that I would highly, highly recommend digging into. I personally also need to be doing this because I'm lacking on that front. But one that I have seen success from is listing products that I sell directly on Facebook Marketplace and trying to sell those locally. Obviously, you can also sell those across wherever the globe that you're living and people finding those, but it's specifically really impactful for selling things locally and making connections locally. I've even made business contacts from those particular listings that I've had up, where I've had people reach out to me for bulk orders for different things that they needed 3D printing, where I don't think I would have ever found them unless I was posting directly on Facebook Marketplace. The other thing that's incredible about that is that you can get involved with your local community and probably partake in different local events where you can, again, further meet people local in your community, other makers or other businesses that might need your service. That will further facilitate in you starting up this 3D printing small business. And speaking of starting up your own small business, I love that I can go online to office.fedex.com and choose from a wide variety of services to meet my creative needs. Quickly place an order and have it available for me at my local FedEx office or delivered directly to me. I'm a longtime fan of their print labels to help make my packages and orders stand out from the crowd. This can even include labels or stickers that I include inside my orders because obviously, who doesn't love some free stickers? I can also quickly have board back posters created based on any creative ideas that I have or new products that I want to show off and have them printed and ready for pickup in no time. And in fact, these were ready for me to pick up in less than 24 hours and are available in multiple size options. Now, if you really want to stand out, I would highly recommend having one of these indoor banners created. And one of the best parts is you don't even need the design skills to create one. You can just use one of the templates or design one directly inside Canva and have it printed locally or shipped directly to you from FedEx office. Now, one extra thing that I like to include is these QR codes that directly lead people back to my shop or my social media accounts once scanned. Now, if you're ever in need of giant posters, snazzy business cards, or eye-catching banners, FedEx office has you covered. They have the products and the know-how to boost your small business into the spotlight. Make sure you visit office.fedex.com to start your order. Now, another thing that you really need to be looking at and considering is your visuals that you're using for your listings or your videos that you're making for the products that you're looking to sell, because the more visual they stand out, the better. And while that might sound easy and like a no-brainer, you'd be surprised at how many listings I've seen that just have really bad looking product shots. Now, what I'm not saying is going out and spending a ton of money on equipment. Please do not do that. You don't need an expensive camera or gear or anything like that. Use your cell phone to shoot video or photos. But what you can do is you have a 3D printer, and I made a video a few years ago about a 3D printable photo booth that's going to allow you to create a backdrop using just a basic piece of poster board or other types of paper that you can find from Jo-Ann Fabrics. It's super cheap and is going to allow you to create some really unique looking photo shots. Additionally, if you have the tools and the know-how and a little bit of Google searching, you can use AI tools to allow you to further enhance those photos that you're listing. I also wanted to briefly mention the importance of videos and creating those videos and the short form content to show off your 3D prints. It's not just showing the 3D print, it's the sound that you might hear from the 3D prints. It's allowing someone to get a little bit more of a sense of what it is that you're trying to convey to them, what you're trying to sell to them, and get it out to them, to get them to purchase that particular product. You don't even have to be in the videos, you could just be showing off the prints, but make sure that you're including videos in your listings. Try to start making and posting those videos online. But in 2024, it is so important that you have videos to go along with each of your listings and the products that you're trying to sell. Now, I will say if you are wanting to invest a little bit of money, do not drop it on an expensive camera or anything like that just yet. I would say purchase some lighting, get some softbox lights, something along those lines that you can find off of Amazon for about $75 or less. But please do not feel like you need to spend hundreds or thousands of dollars to pick up one of these expensive cameras. I don't even use these. Most of the time I just use my iPhone for most of my product shots. And when it comes to boxes and packing up my orders, if you're in a pinch and need a box last minute and looking for a cheap option, Walmart has a great supply of different size boxes that are pretty affordable that you can buy individually. So you can get you in between orders while you're waiting for your bulk order that you've ordered online to come in. Because you 1000% need to be ordering boxes in bulk online. There are so many different sites that you can go through and shop for these. Just shop around and find the best price option available to you, but figure out what kind of box sizes that you're going to need for your prints. And if you anticipate that you're going to be selling a lot of them, you can order them online in bulk and save yourself a ton of money. Also, I end up buying my tape in bulk from Costco. It just works out well for me. It's pretty convenient and it's a pretty good price. Now, when it comes to the actual packing material that you're going to need for your packages, this honeycomb paper is absolutely awesome, but it's expensive. This is like $20 for one roll, and I feel like I run through this so fast compared to painter's paper that you can find at any of your big box stores like Home Depot or Lowe's. This stuff is like $3.50 for a roll or $4 for the larger rolls. And it's so much more affordable and convenient versus ordering this online. And I feel like I'm getting a lot more for the price. The last call out that I'll mention that I wish someone told me about years ago when I first got started is a thermal printer so that I can more easily print out labels for my orders. The label packs come in like 200 for $20 online. This thermal printer doesn't use ink. I was going through so much ink on my printer, printing out packaging, order slips, and the postage information there, and then taping it to my orders. This just ends up saving so much money. It is a little bit more of an investment because I think these are about $100 or more depending on where you buy them online. This is the Munbun, I don't know how to pronounce that, but it works really well. I'll have it linked down below if you're interested in picking up one of these or another iteration very similar to it. Now, one question that I get all of the time, and even I question this myself, is how much should I be pricing for the 3D prints that I'm selling to make sure that I'm making some actual money during this transaction? Well, the Content Creator 3D Design Bros actually created a website that's free to use that is so easy to work with where you can build out your listings and it's going to help you price out your models. And his website's called 3D Print Force. And it's a free site that you can log in, create an account, set up a profile. You're going to list what printers you need to work with, what filaments you're working with, what size boxes are you intending to ship with, and where are you planning on selling your products. And then you can create listings and start pricing these out. So as an example, I have these skull planters that I 3D modeled, and now I want to start selling them. So I'm going to come in and give it a SKU. I'm going to give it a category of home. It's a skull planter is what I'm looking to sell. It takes about 3 hours for this to print and is about 128 grams of filaments. I don't have any other supply costs that I'm going to need to include with this. Maybe if I wanted to include some rope or something like this that people could hang from it, I would include an extra 50 cents here if I wanted to. The shipping weight, I think, is going to be around 10 ounces. And the shipping charge, I'm going to include a $7 fee because this is the fee that's going to be taxed on in Etsy where I'm going to be selling this. So it's how much I'm going to be charged for shipping this out through the platform. So if I want to come in and I want to sell this for $10, I can see that I'm going to make a profit of only $3.77. But if I want to sell this for, let's say, $20, I could make $10 off of each of these prints. This is such an easy way to build out your listings and figure out the pricings for them before you actually get them up. And 3D Design Bros also creates and sells a lot of his own models, but he also offers those as part of his Patreon so that you can also 3D print and sell his models. Now that is the last point that I want to talk about, is the actual process of designing and selling your own 3D prints back to the community. There are so many online creators making digital files and offering them through Patreon or Thangs or printables clubs, you name it. They have a membership option where you can download and start 3D printing and selling some of those 3D prints online. And there's no reason why you shouldn't also try and take advantage of that and start building your own designs that either you can sell and print for yourself or offer back out to the community. Even if you only have a few basic models, I would recommend listing those over on things like Printables or MakerWorld or Thangs, where you're incentivized to share your files because you get rewarded for that, either in gift cards or in other point systems that they might have on their sites. Specifically, there are folks out there like Hendrik Designs that are just absolutely crushing it, where they're creating these elegant, beautiful models that you can download, print, and sell for yourself online. You can see where he's taken an approach that there is a ton of people that are looking for home decor and something that's unique. So he's created a set of models specifically to try and find people in that audience. Now, he's also printing and selling on his own, but he's also licensing out his models where you can print and sell those yourself. And another great example is ForgeCore, who just makes these really wild, innovative videos to show off their 3D prints. And it's led to a big boom in people wanting to buy his 3D prints. Now, obviously, he can 3D print and sell those themselves, but he was smart and created a Thangs membership where folks like myself can now become a member of that, download the files, 3D print them, and sell those 3D prints online. To me, that is one of the most impressive ways that you can succeed with 3D printing in 2024 is learning how to design something unique and creating a membership online or offering it online for selling to other folks that want to print it. It's a great way for you to not even have to worry about fulfilling 3D prints. You're just creating a model and releasing it out to your members where they can now run off and 3D print and sell those. There's just so much opportunity when it comes to selling 3D prints online, and hopefully this video helps you realize some of those opportunities there. I also want to say a big, huge thank you to all my Patreon supporters for your continued support of me and making content here on the interwebs. If you're interested in things like my 3D printer settings that I use for my 3D prints, you can find those over my Patreon. But let me know what kind of tips that you might have for others on when it comes to actually selling 3D prints online. Hey, thanks so much for watching, all, and I'll see you next time.